Hola amigos de CineNT.com, estamos con Williams.
Tim Williams, yes.
Tim Williams, el creador de la música de Guardianes de la Galaxia. Hi Tim, welcome to Mexico.
Thank you so much.
How are you seeing Creativa Fest, this festival that is aiming to close professionals of the industry to the students and our professionals here in Mexico?
It's incredible. I walked in and I just couldn't believe how many people were there, how beautifully organized it is, how wonderfully set up it is, and just very excited to be here. It's really a lot of work has gone into this festival. People that have been invited are just incredible. You know, you've got the directors of all these amazing movies, really giving insights into the process of how the films were made and really helping to train the younger people. So it's very exciting. I'm really impressed.
Good. About the work you have done with music in films, tell us about it. Tell us about the industry and a part of the industry that it is important, however, in conference and all that, it's not really like a highlight. You know, highlights are always directors
and actors,
yes. Right? And music is like,
we're behind the scenes.
Yes, exactly.
We live in these dark caves, you know, and we kind of create our music in the darkness, and we occasionally get let out to interact with real people, you know. It's very much what a composer is like. We spend weeks and weeks and months sometimes working behind the scenes on the music, and I think that's what I enjoy about, you know, festivals like this, because we get to come out and show our work and show our process and show what we do. I think music is one of those things that is very critical to a film. I would think that I'm a composer, but the difference between when you can bring a really strong score, a really strong theme to a movie, the moment you whistle, you know, you think of Jaws, you instantly go da-dum, da-dum. You think of Star Wars, you know, you instantly think of the theme, and it's iconic with those films. And so I think music can really add that, just add that identity to a film to help separate it, brings the emotion. You can drive scenes with it. One of the things that I'm often asked to do is to help with the pacing of a movie. Music plays a big part in terms of the pacing that you don't realize. If you take a scene and you put a lot of percussion behind it and you drive it, the movie feels shorter. So there's a lot you can do with music, and it's kind of the unsung hero of the entertainment world.
Exactly, right? And I think that's one of the things that this festival makes it so important.
Right.
Because we're seeing not just the principles, you know, the highlights that we're already seeing, but also those are behind that are critical to make everything work.
Yeah.
So for you, talking to students, talking to these young people so eager to know, what does this mean to you?
It's very fulfilling for me because, you know, I was a student. You know, I used to come to these conferences and dream of meeting people, and so for me it's a great chance to pass on what I've learned. You know, I've spent 20, 30 years in this industry writing, learning the craft, and hopefully something I can say will inspire, so hopefully it'll give them an insight that they wouldn't otherwise know.
Right. And for the industry, since you are already inside of the industry, what will you say that is the most difficult thing about the industry, about making music for film? What would you say that is the biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge is competition. It's very competitive. There's lots of people, and as years go by, I think film music has become more and more of a rock star. You know, everyone wants to do it now because you feel like a rock star. And it's actually a very difficult craft, and it's very difficult to break in because everybody wants to do it. So I would say that it's very important for people aspiring to become film composers that they find their heart, they find their voice. If they can find a way of expressing music that is unique to that person, then they'll stand out, you know.
Right.
I mean, and so and the other thing I would say is perseverance. You just got to keep at it. You really do. It took me 15 years of hard work just really to break in and start to be able to work on some of the films that were really important to me.
Right.
You know.
And what would you, if you had an advice to give to these young composers, what would it be?
I would say try not to imitate other scores. When interns phone me and say, "Oh, can I be your intern?" and they send me a tape, almost always it's John Williams. It sounds like John Williams, or it sounds like, Hans Zimmer. And it's like, there already is a John Williams. There already is a Hans Zimmer. There already is a Danny Elfman. Create something unique. Do something different that I haven't heard before. Do something that represents who you are as a composer. So that would be my biggest advice is try, and that's advice that I try to use as well when I score is I always think, well, how can I make the score different than the one I've just done? What can I do differently that people haven't heard before?
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for this interview and enjoy Creativa Fest.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.